They said he looked guilty. They said his calmness proved he was hiding something. They said his silence was arrogance. But when the truth finally came out, the entire courtroom went silent because the man they tried to destroy was the one who had sworn to protect them all. This is his story. It started on a gray Tuesday morning in Atlanta. Marcus Coleman, a 42-year-old man in a navy suit, parked his car outside a small cafe before heading to court. He was a quiet man, thoughtful, polite, always early. He ordered his usual black coffee, nodded to the cashier, and stepped outside. Then, flashing lights, 3 police cruisers surrounded his car before he could even start the engine. Marcus Coleman? Yes, officer. Is something wrong? You're under arrest for obstruction of justice and evidence tampering. He blinked, confused. Excuse me? 2 officers moved in. One of them, Sergeant Linda Hayes, tightened the cuffs with a smirk that said she'd been waiting for this. You're coming with us. Bystanders froze. Phones out, recording. Marcus didn't resist. He'd learned long ago that truth doesn't need shouting. It needs proof. As they drove him away, he whispered only one thing under his breath. Don't worry, truth doesn't die. At the precinct, Hayes typed the report with theatrical precision. According to her, Marcus had bribed a witness in an ongoing case. Her case. He sat across from her, calm, hands folded. Sergeant Hayes, I think there's a mistake. She smiled coldly. Oh, I don't make mistakes. You made one today. She ignored him. You tried to influence my witness. You think you can play the system, but not this time. He studied her face. You sound angry, not honest. Her jaw clenched. Save it for court. Outside the interrogation room, a young rookie officer whispered to his partner. Why's Hayes going after him so hard? Word is, he embarrassed her in another case. Got one of her arrests thrown out. Still, doesn't look right. It wasn't. But in a world where perception writes headlines, Hayes had already won the narrative. That night, the story broke. Local man arrested for obstruction in police case. No one questioned it. Not yet. A week later, the courtroom buzzed with tension. Marcus sat at the defense table, posture straight, expression unreadable. Across from him, Hayes took the stand, confident, decorated, smiling like she'd already won. The prosecutor, a young man hungry for a win, paced dramatically. Sergeant Hayes, can you tell the court what you saw? Yes. The defendant attempted to bribe my witness with money and promises of protection. Do you have evidence? Yes. Audio recordings and a signed affidavit. Murmurs filled the room. The defense attorney, an older man with silver hair, rose slowly. Your Honor, we request to examine this evidence. The judge nodded. The recording played. A male voice. You know what to say. Stick to the plan. It sounded like Marcus. Gasps, whispers. Even the judge frowned. Marcus remained still. After recess, his lawyer leaned close. They've doctored it, Marcus, but we can't prove it yet. It's fine, Marcus said quietly. Truth has a strange habit of walking in late, but right on time. That evening, a young journalist named Ava Mendez replayed the viral courtroom clip for her evening report. But something caught her attention, a faint background hum in the audio, repeating every 7 seconds. She worked in audio before journalism. She recognized that sound. It wasn't ambient noise. It was a digital loop proof of editing. She contacted Marcus's lawyer immediately. Within hours, they had a plan. The next day in court, Marcus's lawyer stood. Your Honor, before we proceed, the defense would like to introduce a new witness. Who? The judge asked. Ava Mendez, investigative reporter. Hayes frowned. What is this? Ava took the stand, calm but firm. She played the original clip on a projector. Then she overlaid the supposed evidence. Hayes submitted. The waveform revealed identical looping noise signatures, digital tampering. The courtroom erupted. Order. The judge banged the gavel. Miss Mendez, are you suggesting this evidence was fabricated? I'm not suggesting, Your Honor. I'm proving it. The prosecutor stammered. That's impossible. Marcus stood slowly. Actually, it's very possible. He walked to the stand, calm, measured, because this was the moment he had waited for. Your Honor, he said, with the court's permission, I'd like to present my credentials. The judge looked puzzled. Proceed. Marcus reached into his pocket, handed a badge to the bailiff. It was gold, polished, real. The judge's eyes widened. Special Agent Marcus Coleman, FBI Internal Affairs? Gasps filled the room. Hayes froze. The prosecutor went pale. Marcus turned to face the jury. Yes, Your Honor. For the past 3 years, I've been assigned to investigate corruption within local departments. Sergeant Hayes was on our list. He turned back to her. You didn't frame a criminal, Sergeant. You framed a federal agent. The silence hit like thunder. The judge called recess. But the story had already left the room. Reporters ran out, calling their editors. Within an hour, national networks broke the headline, Police Sergeant accused of framing FBI agent in court. Inside, Hayes sat motionless, her smirk gone, her reputation burning in real time. The prosecutor whispered, "We had no idea." Marcus simply replied, "Maybe you should start asking the right questions before chasing the wrong answers." When the hearing resumed, the judge's tone was sharp. "Sergeant Hayes, given the new evidence, you are hereby placed under investigation for evidence tampering and obstruction of justice." The gavel fell. Marcus exhaled softly, not in triumph, but relief. Outside, cameras flashed as he stepped into the sunlight. One reporter shouted, "Agent Coleman, how does it feel to be vindicated?" He paused, looked straight into the lens. "It's not about vindication. It's about trust. When the system fails the innocent, it betrays everyone." Weeks later, Hayes resigned, her badge turned in, her legacy gone. She tried to apologize privately. He met her in the courthouse hallway. "Why, Linda?" he asked quietly. She looked tired. "Because I was angry. You made me look small once. I wanted to remind you who held the power." He shook his head. "Power isn't control, Sergeant. It's responsibility." Then he walked away. Back in his office, Marcus watched the evening news, the anchor's voice calm but grave. Following the exposure of falsified evidence, the Department of Justice has announced new oversight on local precincts nationwide. A reform movement is underway. He smiled faintly. Justice didn't roar. It whispered, but it was heard. A month later, Marcus visited the same cafe where it all began. The cashier recognized him instantly. "Agent Coleman, right?" He smiled. "Just Marcus." As he walked out, a young boy held the door for him. "Thank you." "Sir," Marcus said. The boy looked up. "My mom says you're the man who made the police tell the truth." Marcus chuckled softly. "Tell her it takes all of us." He looked toward the sky, clear this time. No sirens, no flashing lights, and for the first time in a long while, he felt peace. They framed him for a crime he didn't commit. They laughed in the courtroom. But the truth had a badge of its own. Because in a world full of lies, sometimes justice walks in wearing a calm face. And a deeper story. If this story moved you, subscribe to Mr. Miezah Stories, where every week we tell the stories the world needs to hear, because every story hides a truth.